Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. And that means that none of this is medical advice. So if you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jockstrap Podcast featuring Dr. London Smith. Wait, did I just say Jockstrap? I meant to say Jock Doc. Introducing your host, Dr. London Strap.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock Doc Podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I would like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about just the overuse of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as gamma-glutamyl transpeptidase and walk this way. So I will try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer Cameron.
Just looking at this microphone and this table and the light switch here in the studio, and it's kind of sad that this might be the last time I see him, you know?
Well, why is that? Are you leaving?
Well, Dr. London, I got some good news and I got some bad news. And the good news is that I am going to be exploring a little more of the world. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, why haven't I traveled at all this year? And I was just drawing a blank. I was like, man, I this whole year I haven't gone anywhere, and I couldn't think of any excuse that made any sense at all. And so, I mean, Dr. London, I'm gonna be taking a leave of absence for 20 years, 30 years, I don't know.
Oh,
Depends on how long it takes to get around the world.
I think normally I would think, like under normal circumstances, I don't think it would take 20 or 30 years to get around the world, even hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, that depends on what you're traveling by, though.
And for you would travel, like you wouldn't use a plane or, a boat?
Well, no, people have done that. People have famously, traveled around the world in like hot air balloons and in planes and by boat and all these different things. Mm-hmm. But not one person has gone all the way around the world in a boxcar racer. You know those like little cars that kids drive down hills that you make in like Boy Scouts or something?
Yeah, aren't those like, don't those require a slope? Like that's why it's downhill?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no, like, engine in it or anything. It's literally just a box with wheels. And not one person has done that. I'm going to be the first Dr. London.
Do you think that in your journey around the world, you might run into issues of, say...
fans? Running into fans around the world and them hassling me? I have thought about that.
Yes.
And, it disgusts me. The idea that someone would come up to me and say, I recognize you. But I think I could like say, oh, okay. And then, get the hell out of there as quickly as possible, of course. But I can be like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, okay, I just can't help but think. Okay, well, anyway, the reason why you haven't been able to travel so much is probably, I'm not sure if you're aware, but we live in the United States, so probably you won't be legally permitted to enter another country because, there's still these
by
issues.
Plane, like through an airport. You think if I start floating up to Italy in a boxcar off the side of the Gulf, that they're gonna just turn me away?
They might if they find out that you're American.
You really think so? Well,
there are people
okay.
trying to immigrate by that method or by similar methods.
Well, think about this though. If I start at a really, really high hill in just like whatever country that I'm trying to like swoosh my way into, I'll be going so damn fast. The coppers won't do anything about it.
So I guess your real goal now is to just find the tallest, I guess, mountain?
Yes. That is now my dream.
Okay,
Is
because
to, I guess, drive my boxcar racer down Mount Everest and hope that I get enough momentum to go all the way around the world faster than, I guess, all the police in the world.
Okay, and I guess I can't really speak to whether... I don't feel like that would...
I'm gonna miss this. I mean, the recording software.
The software is what
I'm
you'll
gonna
miss.
I mean, the way that like you never brought any candies or anything to the records. I always thought about that. Like, oh, you think you would bring something?
So you're gonna miss passive aggression, yeah. Okay.
But Dr. London, I wish you all the luck in the world on finding my
thank you.
replacement. I won't be assisting in finding your replacement. And I'm not going to tell you the passwords to any of the accounts.
Okay, because you do manage every account and have made it a point to not allow me, well, for one thing, to even know about all of them.
I'm going to miss those accounts, miss those passwords. Some of them made me laugh so hard.
I guess there's a clue. Okay, well, so that's our producer Cameron. Also with us is Digital in the house.
Just looking at this microphone and this table and the light switch here in the studio, and it's kind of sad. This might be the last time I see him, Dr. London, I got some good news and I got some bad news. And the good news is that I am going to be exploring a little more of the world. I'm going to be taking a leave of absence for 20 years, 30 years, I don't know. It depends on how long it takes to get around the world. Oh, I'm going to miss the recording software. I'm going to miss, the way that, like, you never brought any candies or anything to the records. I always thought about that. Like, you think you would bring something sometimes, but... But, Dr. London, I wish you all the luck in the world, and I'm not going to tell you the passwords to any of the accounts. I'm going to miss those accounts, miss those passwords. Some of them made me laugh so hard.
And later, Cameron tells me that we can expect a special guest.
That's right, Dr. London.
Well, you said you couldn't call it it wasn't a make a wish. It was make a prayer, was it? Or you said you came up with some spin-off organization that you're...
Oh, well, I'm still kind of like testing. Like, I think make a fish is kind of funny.
Yes.
But I feel like people would expect fish, and which I don't have.
Yeah.
So make a prayer was also a good one because I thought like, oh, you kind of lean on the religious angle. But then the Madonna's record label threatened to sue us because they said make a prayer was too close to like a prayer.
Okay.
Which I feel like it was closer to make a wish, but they didn't seem to care at all.
Especially because this is just the name of an organization to make a young child's dream come true. So anyway.
Yeah. It's not even an organization. It's just sort of a title so we can introduce them on the podcast. Like, I didn't even think we'd get sued for that.
Yeah, that sounds... Okay.
But yeah, we have to go to court over that. I didn't even change the name. I Googled it. And they were like, no, and they shut it down that quickly.
Okay, so we just have a guest on, and we can't legally...
We're being sued by Madonna.
Yeah, I wish this was the first time. Anyway, so before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. I found this message spelled out in fire in my yard over the weekend. The note reads, quote, "My grandson Kyle is good with money. He sells cartridges, whatever that means," end quote. First of all, I would like to thank you so much for reaching out to us here on the Jock Talk podcast. To answer your question, maybe your grandson is selling, I don't know, Nintendo cartridges for like an older game system. Cameron, do you have any idea what cartridges?
I mean, it's got to be something like car related, right? Is it like a Hot Wheel?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Just I know that he sells them, so
Yeah.
so I guess if it's so her grandson Kyle maybe is a car salesman.
Yeah, I probably so.
Okay. Well, anyway, great to hear from that listener, and yeah, keep letting us know what you're thinking, listeners. We love to hear
Keep
back.
on trucking on.
And once again, we do kind of want to stay away from these phrases that are so close to real ones because we can't take more lawsuits.
Just saying trucking on, I don't even know what that's close to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even sure who's gonna sue me for trucking on.
Keep on something on. It's just one of those things that's I've seen it on so many. Like,
Oh, so you don't even know if someone owns it. You just, it's out
I'm
there.
sure that we could. I just want to be careful. That's all.
That's understandable.
Okay. Now for today's medical topic, tension pneumothorax. A tension pneumothorax is defined as air in the normally airless pleural space, which is the space between the tissues that line the lungs and the chest. So air gets trapped just outside the lungs, and this gives the lungs less room to expand and fill with air. A tension pneumothorax, then, is when this air trapping is caused by some form of trauma, and the tissues surrounding the opening into the pleural cavity, they act as valves. So they allow air to enter, but not to escape.
Sound familiar?
Okay, is this another hint at why you're wanting to leave?
Yeah. Because I was invited in. I was allowed to enter with open arms saying, Cameron, if you help out with this podcast, you'll have the whole world. And then I get here and I'm just suffocating.
Yeah, well,
Every single week, you're like, you have to be here. Every single week, you're like, you gotta send the recordings over. You gotta log into the account or at least give me the password. I'll do most of the work. Just you gotta give me access. And I'm like, get off my back.
Well, I'm sorry. It's just that's kind of just how a podcast works. And if you suddenly, go on your boat trip, or climb a tree and try to start a new tribe, all of those things, you can do that on your own time. But we have to educate people about medicine.
You know what? I know that we're already being sued by Madonna's record company, but I've got to express myself, and I got to say right now, Papa, don't preach.
Okay. In any case, yeah, so that, in a tension pneumothorax,
Vogue.
that accumulation of air under positive pressure in the pleural space collapses the ipsilateral lung, that means same side lung, and it shifts the mediastinum away from the side of the pneumothorax. Clinically, patients can present with hypotension because along with the lungs, cardiac filling can also be impaired due to compression of the great veins. Patients may also have...
Oh, I need to get those. I've heard so much about those. Getting cardiac fillers?
No, I think...
I've heard all about getting those filled, and I've heard it's amazing.
So cardiac filling, that you're already doing that every moment. That's your heart beating. Every time your heart fills up with blood.
Oh yeah, I mean I've heard if you go to those places, they fill up with blood, and it's just like you feel so fresh and amazing when you get out of there.
Okay, so cardiac filling is also impaired due to compression of the great veins. Patients may also have distended neck veins, a shift of the trachea away from the side of the pneumothorax on chest x-ray, decreased breath sounds on the affected side, and hyperresonance to percussion on the side of the pneumothorax. However, if a tension pneumothorax is suspected, it's important to immediately decompress the pleural space via a large bore needle or chest tube rather than obtaining an x-ray first. As for treatment, so did you say you talk as if you've experienced this?
No, everything you're describing is exactly why I need to leave.
Oh, just a tension pneumothorax? Is that...
This is you. This is our relationship. Are you blind? Do you have any self-awareness at all? Everything you're saying is our dynamic. Don't you see, Dr. London?
So our dynamic is there's a need to decompress the pleural space with a large bore needle or test tube.
It's insane to me that you wrote all of that and you never stopped to think, like, is this coming from my subconscious? Like, does this mean something?
Okay, well,
because you're just spelling it out. All the things you couldn't tell the therapist. And instead you just kept checking your phone.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm not sure exactly where this is coming from because... So this is a medical lesson. This is what happens when someone's, the lining of their lung is compromised.
Huh. Yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
Because that's what you've done to me the entire length of this podcast. Today's podcast.
Okay. Anyway, as for treatment...
it's like 10 minutes.
So the way you treat this tension pneumothorax, you have to treat it as a medical emergency. If the tension in the pleural space is not relieved, the patient can actually die of hemodynamic compromise. So you'll immediately perform chest compressions with a large bore needle in the second or third intercostal space in the midclavicular line, and then followed by chest tube placement. And does that sounds... I mean, do you like our relationship to you?
When you hear the word chest tube placement, that doesn't jog any memory for you, Dr. London?
No, did you have the chest tube placed at some point?
No, but think about it. Chest tube placement, tube, like a slide, like a water slide, chest. When we went to down that water slide and we went like chest face first. Placement, because we knew to splash in the water at the end, and it was a fun time.
And that's... Okay, so you're describing our relationship as being a fun experience at a water park.
That was a specific memory that you don't even remember, apparently.
I mean, I remember, but I didn't connect it to this.
When I get to the peak of Mount Everest.
Yeah.
And I put my helmet on, because it's been off the whole time I was climbing. And I get in that boxcar racer. And I tell my, I don't know, like horse or whatever I ride up there to push me off the edge. I'm going to be thinking, I hope this is as fun as that water slide.
And at that point, you will be, talking to your horse. Okay. Well, we can go ahead and move on from there.
Okay.
All right. Well, Cameron, you said that we have a... Well, I can't call it... We can't put it under a specific theme, but we have a special guest who is here because I don't know, that something was wrong.
Are you guessing at what you're trying to say? Are you guessing what words are?
I know there are legal words that I can't legally use to describe why the guest is on the show. So I'm just trying to navigate that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know that. So this guest has physical ailments to such an extent that they reached out to someone and got connected, and this is what they wanted to do, was to be on the Jock podcast.
Yeah, I mean, why are you telling me this?
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is an introduction. Okay. Anyway, so welcome to our guest. Hello there.
Hello, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh my god. Okay, I just want to say first of all that much like my mom has done this a lot of times, like, I really don't want you guys to break up, okay? I just, like, I don't think I could take it again, and I learned so much from you guys, so I need you to stay together.
Well, sometimes even though people still carry about each other a lot, they need to take some time apart to explore different options. And maybe, blonder options, I guess.
Well, my mom's boyfriend Jeff did that, and he got hit by a mail truck.
Oh, no.
So I'm just saying, but it's not always a good thing. You know what I mean?
What did Jeff die, or is that the end of that story?
No. Well, it's kind of a really long story. I don't think I should get into it because I talked to someone who speaks to ghosts, and they talked to Jeff because the whole reason he got hit by a car is because he had this white stuff on his face.
Mm-hmm.
When the cops came, the policeman came to take him out, and he tried running away, and then he got hit by a mail truck, and then he went to a bad place. Aww. And I don't want you to go to a bad place, Mr. Producer Camera Guy.
Wow. Well, thank you. That's really sweet. I appreciate that. Dr. London, do you have anything to...
Well, I figure we should finish this. And so this is our guest is named Billy, is that right?
Yes, my name is Billy.
Hey,
Okay.
Billy. How old are you,
Hello.
Billy?
I am 8 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I've grown into a big boy.
Yeah. Well, so Billy, my name is drlondonsmith.com, and this is our producer, Cameron.
I
Hi,
know who
hi.
you guys are. I listen to you guys all the time because I try to Google stuff to understand things, but I like it better when people talk to me because I sometimes pretend I have friends at home that want to talk with me about the questions I have, and that's what you guys are.
Yeah, that's the perfect example of a podcast listener.
Yeah, that's me. I'm your podcast listener. And so I've been trying to get a hold of you guys a little bit. I get made fun of a lot at school because I've got some stuff going on and it's kind of embarrassing to talk about. Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, I'm sure Dr. London can definitely help you. He is a doctor. He's, he sucks.
To ask real quick, so I guess for our audience, our podcast has reportedly, according to Cameron, been marketed primarily towards children.
Yes.
Which doesn't seem to be, sort of the target audience that we would want. But I guess, we can get.
You don't think kids need medical advice too?
Yeah, I think that they can benefit, but it's what we are teaching is more at a med school level. Back to Billy here. Yeah, so what brings you on the show? You said you have some kind of ailment?
Yeah, I get made fun of a lot because I have some dandruff and I have some psoriasis, but I'm getting treated from a doctor. But
Okay, good.
the real problem is I've got gooey eyes. My eyes have goo in them all the time. And people don't like looking at me and they kind of make fun of me about it and say that I'm gross.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad you contacted us. I feel like this is what we are primarily experts at, right, Dr. London? First things first, we got to identify the goo coming out of the gooey eyes. As an expert myself, I would probably say it looks like it's from the American Southwest. Is that about right, Dr. London?
You think that the goo itself is from
Do you
a
not
particular...
know your goo strains?
Well, I think usually if the goo is coming out of a person, then you will generally think that that person is the origin, not some other, region of the country.
Yeah, I don't really
No,
travel
there-
very much.
Yeah, but it can happen in all sorts of ways. Have you known anyone? Have any of your... Well, you said you don't really have any friends, but
I've got one friend, and her name is Amelia, and she's a spider.
Okay.
Yeah, she's really cool. I learned about the spider world from her, and I teach her about the human world. And she says that my goo doesn't bother her, so she's a good friend to have.
Okay. Yeah, and that's once it's very normal, but Cameron, can I talk to you separately for a second?
yeah. This might be the last time that you talk separately with me.
All right, so Billy is also on here to promote his podcast, Spider Facts with Billy.
Okay.
And we need to be sensitive and make sure he doesn't feel strange for talking to a spider for a podcast. Do you see what
I don't. I mean, I didn't find it strange in the first place. That seems, 8 years old. I mean, yeah, that seems normal.
Okay, but to start a podcast and
You've made it into this weird thing.
Okay, maybe it's just me. We can go back.
Yeah, God.
Okay, Billy, sorry about that.
That's okay. Sometimes you have to have grown-up talks. My mom tells me that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, tell me about this. You said you have a friend, Amelia, who's a spider.
Yeah, so I saw a spider one day, and I put it in a jar, and then I let her out of the jar now, but then she just started talking to me, and I was like, what? Because I originally wanted to teach people about spiders because I love them so much. Like, did you know that spiders have 8 eyes as well as 8 legs? Like, that's so many.
Wow, that makes sense. We have 2 eyes and 2 legs.
Yeah, so, wow, nature's so cool. And it's so cool because Amelia talks to me, and she's really smart. She taught me how spider babies are made. Like how their eggs and stuff come out in like a bag. It's like a big old bag with a bunch of babies in it. That's really cool.
Wait, Dr. London, is that true?
Oh, no. Okay, so I don't really want to spend today describing where babies come from or how they're made.
Well, I want to know, Billy, I want to know, you say Amelia talks to you.
Yeah.
What does she sound like?
She sounds like,
Could you do like an impression of her?
yeah, she sounds like, hello, Billy. This is Amelia. I sound like a nice lady who is your friend, and I like to teach you things. That's what she sounds like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sold. Dr. London, what do you think about all this?
Do you ever hear? Well, actually, at your age, it's normal to have your imaginary friends or stuffed animals
No,
that you talk to.
She's
Dr.
real.
London, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. What?
What is it?
Hey, Billy,
Yeah,
we know that Amelia's real. Dr. London, he is not a believer in anything interesting or cool.
Yeah,
That's why he became a doctor.
She watches Constantine with me and like all the other Keanu Reeves movies you can shake a stick at. All of them we watch together. Spiders love Keanu Reeves.
Wait, do you have Constantine like on Blu-ray or do you just have it digitally? Can I borrow it if it's on Blu-ray?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I have anything on Blu-ray. I have it digitally. My mom got it for me for Christmas.
Damn it.
But maybe, if you wanted to watch it with me and Amelia, that'd be okay with me.
Nah, I'd rather just borrow the Blu-ray. If you can rip a copy for me and maybe burn it to like a DVD-R, I can just watch it like that. It's totally fine. Anyway, Dr. London, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah.
What are you doing coming in here saying, it's normal to have imaginary friends at that age? Dr. London, this isn't an imaginary friend. This is a kid who can talk to bugs. Do you not realize how powerful that is? And how maybe if we get on the right, this kid is a super fan of us. I told you this podcast was going to pay off one day. This kid is obsessed with our podcast, probably because of the beer that I hand out to all the neighborhood kids. And this kid can talk to spiders, which we could possibly use that power for, at least a project or something.
Okay,
Maybe like build something. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. This is all new information for me.
Okay.
But this is incredible.
So we can go back and talk about that. But before we go back in there, what I need you to do is please do not try to sell him any of your beer. Okay. That beer.
I
is
have
not
to
good for
assume if
children.
the kid is a fan of ours, he's got like a 12-pack at home. I mean, I don't need to sell it. The beer sells itself. So yeah, no problem.
Okay, because remember,
Won't happen.
the side effects.
I guarantee that kid is stocked up.
Okay.
And you can tell because of the eye goop.
Yes.
That's why I was curious about the strain, because if it's from the Southwest, it's got to be from the beer. Because we have a specific Southwestern strain of eye goop going around. It's a long story.
Okay. Oh, we can go back in. So, Billy, you haven't sampled any drinks with Cameron's name on it, have you?
Oh, yeah. My mom
Yeah,
my mom buys me that stuff all the time. It's like the one thing she does, because she goes like in her room and she ghost hunts with her friends that come over sometimes and closes the door and then leaves me with like all kinds of bottles of Cameron's Buddy beer.
Oh, okay. So you do recognize the very specific name.
Why do you think I buy it? And I listen to you guys so much. My mom bought that stuff for me because she says I'm a little too positive sometimes and I just need to relax and be realistic. So she tells me to drink that and I get sad and lay down.
Yeah, it's a real downer, and that's sort of built into the product. But we do thank you for being a fan of not only the podcast, but for the #1 beer in juvenile detention centers.
Oh, yeah, I'm all in. Like, I love you guys. That's why I don't want you to break up so bad.
I mean, I really do appreciate that, but sometimes I don't know. Sometimes you got to move on, Billy. But let's not sit and talk about how depressing it is that I'm going to be traveling the world while Dr. London's stuck here sucking his thumb.
Oh,
I want to hear more about your communication with your friend Amelia. So when you talk, like, you just say like, "Hey, Amelia, go do that." Like, do you command her to do things, or is she more like commanding you to do things?
Well, Amelia taught me about consent, and we don't command each other to do anything. We're two friends, and we talk about stuff, and she does what she wants, and I do what I want. She's not here right now, but, like, she's got to go get bug friends to put in her web so she can eat. But no, we're just, like, friends. We hang out. Like, she doesn't command me like a demon or nothing.
So, I mean, there's no world in which you could, let's say, rise up an army of spiders and have them do your bidding? Is that out of the question?
I never thought about that, but that sounds kind of like a good idea. I'm going to have to talk with her about that.
Yeah, and think about it. Like, Amelia can have a high position in this hierarchy.
Yeah.
Amelia can be, like, the CEO or president of all the other spiders or whatever.
I think she would like that.
It's just, maybe being something of like a spider king that maybe could, help the podcast out in some ways,
Whatever you guys
Dr.
want.
London, can you think of any spider related things that we might need?
Yeah. Okay. So, and look, I don't actually think you should manipulate your friend.
Oh, I want a hammock. I feel like that's right up y'all's alley, right?
Oh, I'll ask her when she comes back home.
I feel, Cameron, like maybe the webs of a spider aren't really up to the task of sustaining your weight, and that's not an attack on your weight.
You're saying that our guest's best friend is unable to create like a quality, solid product? Dr. London, what are you doing? Why are you so rude to our guest? Billy, I am so sorry about that.
I just don't understand why he doesn't like Amelia very much.
Oh, okay, don't cry.
She's very good.
Don't cry.
But Billy, I want to know like what brought you here today? What do you want to talk about on the podcast?
Okay. First and foremost, I want people to know that spiders are good and they're friends. But the other main thing is what I'm really making a fish for is that I can get this goo out of my eyes, and maybe I can have a friend that's a person for when Amelia's not here.
Oh, okay. You're just searching for a friend.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's searching for a friend, and Mr. Cameron, producer man, he's looking for a blonde friend, and I'll take a blonde friend or a red friend, any kind of friend.
Oh yeah, this is perfect.
Okay, so for your first issue, Because yeah, you're looking for a friend, and then what was your first issue? I'm sorry. Oh, the eye goop.
Oh,
the
yeah.
eye goop. That's
Yeah,
right.
there's a lot of goo,
So-
and it dries up sometimes in the mornings.
Right. So what I'm thinking is two things off the top of my head. Allergies. Could be allergies.
Okay.
Could also be what Cameron said, that eye goop is apparently a side effect of Cameron's buddy beer, which is a very minor side effect compared to some of the other things I've heard about it, which, for those who aren't aware, also can cause paralysis and suicidal ideation.
Can cause. That's a key word there. It could cause superpowers. I don't know. Anything could cause anything.
Well, it has been known to
Correlation
cause.
does not equal causation.
But
And
all
in-
the children.
I mean, in this case, this is causation and not correlation. It's just straightforward causation. But if you look at the overall pattern, you can see that. Billy here's having a good time,
Yeah.
right, Billy?
Yeah, I drink that stuff, and I get sad, and I think about stuff, and then I go to sleep. And I sleep real
But
deep.
I want to hear about this plan with the eye goop to help create a new friend. I am very intrigued about this, and I would like to sign up for this project as well.
Well, I mean, I don't want to take the goo and mold a friend, like pretend it's clay or anything. Is that what is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I wasn't exactly sure, but I'm down for, whatever. If it's making little clay figurines of people and talking to them, that sounds awesome. If it's using them in some sort of magical way that, grows a person, that's cool, too.
I didn't try that. I just wanted the eye goo to go away so the kids in my class could look at me and they're not disgusted by me anymore.
Okay. Well,
No,
this...
I have... Dr. London, is there not a way that we can take the eye goop from this situation, clone Billy, so then he has the perfect best friend who understands all of his issues?
Oh my god.
I don't know that specifically is
That
possible.
technology has to be around, right? You think Sony does it?
I'm not sure. I
Like
don't.
the eye goop to person converter?
Please, I hope that
Well, 'cause
exists.
you've... I'm sorry. What was that, Billy?
I really hope that exists. I would love that so much.
Well, here's an issue I'm thinking of. I have seen Cameron with barrels of a similar substance after he's given, his beer to children. I've seen, Cameron, that you've been kind of hoarding the stuff away. And if your end game is to try to use it to make a new person, I don't know that that's, ethical or even good. So
No.
if that's your plan here.
No, I mean, that wasn't my plan before right now. It's my plan now for sure the plan now is to use iGoop to clone Billy, give him the best friend ever, and then go to Mount Everest. Like the second this recording ends.
Okay,
My plan before with collecting any sort of excess or, iGoop that people may have or whatever is just, I didn't really have a game plan. I figured if someone wanted it.
So, anyway, I guess, Billy, if you would maybe just ask your mom about allergy medicine,
Okay.
then that can probably... And also, I would say stop drinking the beer.
I mean, I don't try to drink it all the time. It's just when my mom wants me to drink it. Because, when she has her friends over to ghost hunt, she doesn't want me to knock on the door, try to come in or anything like that.
Well, yeah, because she's busy with her friends ghost hunting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to interrupt that at all. Have they found any ghosts?
I don't know if they've found any, but I sure hear a lot of ghost noises coming from in that bedroom, so I don't know. I think they're finding them, but I don't think they're getting rid of them or anything. They're just more keep coming.
Well, I mean, that can be a struggle, especially if you don't have a priest with you.
Yeah, I don't know if a priest would want to come into this apartment. My mom talks about God all the time. She's always like, oh God. So, I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
Wait, I have one other question. I'm sorry I interrupted. Do you think
No,
maybe...
you're fine.
Do you think my eye goo comes from my Rottweiler? I have a dog. And like
That
the dog eats poop, and it also has allergies. And it sneezes in my eyes sometimes.
Yeah, that's a real possibility because there are, allergens in, pet fur in general. So cats, dogs, whatever. And sometimes those can, irritate the eyes and everything. So that could definitely be a cause as well. But once again, just ask your mom about some allergy medicine.
And I do have to mention, it does say this on the Buddy Beer can, but do not let any sort of dog slobber mix with the Buddy Beer. It will, if you start seeing the liquid boiling, you need to throw that in some sort of, like metal container as quickly as possible.
Well, it makes me really want to try that now. Like, is it going to make me die, or is it just fun to look at? Why do I have to throw it out? It's perfectly good beer.
Well, I mean, I could tell you, but I think, a curiosity is a good trait to have. It's good to want to learn things. So, I mean, it sounds like a fun science experiment.
That sounds amazing. I'll have when Amelia comes back, that's what we're going to do.
Okay. But yeah, so since we've maybe for now solved the riddle of what is causing the eye goop, we can go ahead and sorry, Billy, I don't know if you've listened to our last few episodes, but we've had these chores. I don't know if you have chores around your house.
Oh gosh, don't even bring up the chores. Look, we've had this chore list that's grown larger and larger over the course of the last, I don't know, it feels like a million years.
Yeah.
And we have been just trying to come up with a fun way to just knock off all these chores and knock off all these tasks. And so we created the chore wheel, and we spin it every week, and whatever chore it lands on, that's just like what we have to do. And, look, I don't want to have to do it either. I would love to be just hanging out by the beach, sunglasses on my face, drinking like, what's it like a beach drink? Like a milk.
Yeah, whole milk.
Like a whole milk.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, I'd rather be doing that. But unfortunately, we've got to take care of these chores. So let's see. We got to get the chore wheel going. DJ Dylan, can you fire that baby up, please?
Yes.
Oh, it landed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, unfortunately, it landed on make prank phone calls. God, I hate that we have to do this. Look, guys, I do not endorse prank phone calls. I don't think they're funny, but they're on the chore
bad
wheel.
habit. Yeah,
we have to do it. We're supposed to do it.
Yeah, and this is a legal obligation. This is part of the whole Madonna lawsuit. It's a community service is essentially what this boils down to.
I'm sorry. I want community service if I get to make crank phone calls for fun.
Yeah.
Can I do stuff to get community service too?
Yeah. Do you have like a window near you could throw a baseball through or something?
Oh, yeah. No problem.
Go ahead and do that real quick.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Okay, then yeah. You'll want to make these calls with us too.
I was gonna say, the window has to be closed for what Cameron's talking about. It can't be an open window.
That depends. If a stranger threw like a baseball through your open window, that'd be kind of startling.
Okay, I guess
I'll
I
have to
assume
try
that
it again
Billy's
later.
outside or inside rather.
I'll have to try it again later when the window is closed then. Do you want me to throw it now while the window's closed?
I would say you do you.
I'm doing it. I did it. I broke a window.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start the call, and I guess for all three of us, Billy, just maybe follow our lead, or if you want to take the lead. I don't do a lot of prank calls these days, but
I'm a bit of an expert. I can take the lead on this one, I think.
Yeah,
But we're just
Cameron
gonna do
does prank call me a lot.
quite a bit. So let's just do a random number in the phone book. We're just gonna shuffle through, and all right, DJ Dylan, go ahead and call that one.
Hello?
Hello. Who am I speaking to?
That's really good.
This is Smoking Barth.
Oh, wait.
Huh.
Are you that guy who like collects teeth or something?
Also known as the tooth fairy.
Yep, that's right. Wait, are you busy right now?
Ha! Gotcha. Please leave a message after the tone.
Oh, mother. Oh, okay.
That was
Hang
really
up.
good.
Hang up, Dylan. Hang up. God.
Okay, so that
All right.
that didn't go the way I thought it would go.
No, I hated that. We were the prankies on that one. All right, London, you pick a new number out of the book.
Okay, okay. Let's see. That one's got a little. Did you write the star next to the name? Yeah, this one's circled. This number.
Hello? Before you say anything, I'm not doing any returns, okay? If you gave a gold tooth or a silver tooth, for example, and you expected more than $1, that's not gonna happen, alright? So before you say anything, I've already heard it,
I'm sorry.
I already know.
Is this-
It's $1 per tooth, and you already know it, okay?
I'm sorry. Is your refrigerator running? Is your refrigerator? Hold on.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
Are you asking about, because I did get a gold tooth, but I already said I'm only paying $1.
No, I'm actually. So I'm calling about a refrigerator. I do repairs and things. Does your refrigerator, and Billy, if you want to help out here, is there a refrigerator? Is yours running? Refrigerator?
Let me go check.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna get him so good.
She's actually checking it.
He's actually checking it.
He's
Oh my
actually
gosh.
checking it. No way. Oh man.
What do you?
I'm drinking so much of your beer right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Well, my neighbor meat is still frozen, so I think it's working.
Then you better go work. So another way to say working would be.
You're a young man who runs a business, an upstanding repair business. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I run a business, I guess. But
So you're a young entrepreneur. Okay, that's what I'm speaking. That's what I'm speaking with. Okay.
yeah, so I just wanted to. So I was just checking. Is your refrigerator, another way to say that it's working would be like, you might say, I don't know, is your refrigerator running then?
You're
Yeah.
getting so good.
Then you better go catch it!
What do you say next?
You better go get it.
Why did you say that?
Why didn't I say that?
No, why did you say that?
Oh, because that's the. How do you think the joke ended? Are we still on the line?
No, I thought we were just talking about, like, you were just pretending to be like a refrigerator repairman. Hang up, Dylan, hang up.
Okay.
I love community service.
Okay.
This is so great. Okay, we got to do one more. Billy, do you want to do this one?
Yeah, I've been chugging this beer, and my brain's getting real strange right now, so I'm ready to do
Okay.
this.
Perfect.
So
All right,
we'll call
let's.
and a new number, because I can't help but feel like that one.
Well, yeah, it was Smokin' Barth, past guest on this show, aka
Yeah.
the Tooth Fairy. Smokin' Barth seems to have monopolized multiple numbers here because that was it. That was him both times, right?
It did sound like him, yeah. Anyway,
All right.
let's.
Yeah, pick.
Billy.
Go to the end. Go to the back of the book. Go to where it says like Zed or whatever.
Yeah,
But don't call Zed.
I'll take all the numbers.
Oh, don't call Zed.
Hello, Marilyn here.
Hello. This is your doctor, and I'm calling to you with your test results.
Oh my gosh.
And we found out that you have chlamydia.
Barth, you're not gonna believe
It's o-
this.
You won chlamydia. And now you take pills for it to go away, and you have to go to the doctor now.
Oh my gosh.
But this sounds like it's actually kind of misleading medically, and like maybe it could
London, shut up. Dr. London, shut up.
What do you mean?
cause them undue duress.
Oh, what is that? A person on the phone. How does that make you feel?
Well, I definitely don't like hearing that my wife has chlamydia.
It comes from toilet seats. It's okay. That's what my mom says. So just take pills, and it goes away, and your wife will be fine.
Okay, well, we can... Hey, let's hang up.
Did I do good, you guys?
Oh, you did so good, Billy.
Yeah, that was great.
That was a lot better than...
I think we can officially say that we have completed this chore, right?
For today,
Have
yeah.
we completed the community service?
Yeah. Okay.
Community service is so awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Billy, for your help there, or potentially just working towards your own community service, which is likely just statistically based on the fact that you are drinking Cameron's Buddy Beer right now. That throws you into a whole statistical category for crime and... Anyway, that was sort of the last thing that we had planned, I think. Was there anything else, Cameron or Billy?
I wanted to say that when you see a spider, you don't smash it. You put it in a jar, and if you don't want it inside, take it outside. And that friend will go and make a web for someone else.
Okay.
I think that is a great lesson, Billy, and thank you for bringing that lesson to us today. But
You're
other bugs
welcome.
are free game, right?
I hate other bugs, and they're only to feed Amelia and my other spider friends.
Okay, perfect.
Well, thank you for Billy for being on the podcast. We know that we can go listen to more of you if we want at your podcast, right?
Oh, yeah, I got this Xbox headset, and I made my own podcast, and it's me and Amelia. We talk about stuff.
All right, and that's... your mom gave me the card here. It does say Spider Facts with Billy.
Yeah, and I got someone to upload it on all the things that you need to listen to stuff on.
Great. All right. So thank you to Billy for coming on the show. Billy, is there anywhere to follow you on social media or anything like that?
Okay, so I have a Facebook page, and it's Spider Facts with Billy. Just look for that.
All right. Well, thank you to Billy. Thank you to Cameron, our producer. Thank you to Digital in the House.
Maybe I could have a friend that's a person for when Amelia's not here. Everybody's searching for a friend. Everybody's searching for a friend.
Everybody's searching for a friend. Everybody's searching for a friend.
And Mr. Cameron, producer man, he's looking for a blonde friend. And I'll take a blonde friend or a red friend, any kind of friend.
Everybody's searching for a friend.
Maybe I could have a friend that's a person.
Everybody's searching for a friend.
My name is Dr. LondonSmith.com, and this has been the Jock Podcast.
See ya.
You shuffle the papers in front of you. Just keep looking busy and run out the clock. You glance up at said clock. It still reads 4:55. It feels like it has been 5 minutes till quitting time forever. As you glance around the office, you notice that every chair and every cubicle is empty. Those are the real quitters. You glance at the clock again. Still 4:55. You check the clock on your computer. 11:30 p.m. No, that can't be right. Why would there be a centralized clock mounted on the wall of the office if it was not meant to be the master clock? Reveling in the mastery of your own logic, you lean back in your chair and continue shuffling papers, having finished all assigned tasks long ago. Speaking of mistaking stupidity for brilliant superiority, don't forget to leave a 5-star review of the Jock Podcast, in which you describe how you stayed late at work because of the batteries on the clock running out. And consider supporting us by becoming a patron on the Jock Podcast Patreon. And while you're at it, go ahead and share the Jock Podcast with a friend or foe. You can send them a link to our handy website, or even just send them a link to your favorite episode. And our website is jockdocpodcast.com. And don't forget to take a peek at our posts on social media. We are at Jock Podcast. Thanks for listening.